Minecraft is an easy game. Okay, that's not me. Okay, maybe it was me, but Minecraft at its core is an easy game, which is why I am going to make it harder by playing 5 of the hardest seeds with the goal of beating at least one of them in under an hour. And obviously, I'm not a speedrunner, so 1 hour, that's good for me. The first seed literally spawned me suffocating inside of a wall, and to make things worse, I was almost 40 blocks below the surface. This forced me to staircase with my fist for almost 10 minutes before reaching the surface. I made it to the surface and I started punching trees, but then I realized I have another problem, my hunger bar. I was stuck inside a Badlands biome where it's almost impossible to get food, and to make things worse, it was going to be nighttime soon and I was about to run out of sprint. Eventually I managed to find a plains biome and I killed a few chickens. I then tried to remember how much iron you need to go to the nether and started searching for lava to make a portal. I found lava and made a terrible attempt at the speedrun portal, and then I went to the nether. By now it was almost 20 minutes into the run, which means the world record would have finished twice now. But I still had 40 minutes, which is plenty of time. I think. I got a nether spawn that fit this seed perfectly, but luckily I had enough blocks to bridge across. I made it to land where I got attacked by a piglin, so I made gold boots, which makes me one of them. I traveled a little bit more where I found the nether fortress, but I was too scared to enter the fortress without fire resistance, so I just wrote down the coords. It turns out I wasn't too scared to enter the fortress about 2 seconds later, and I started fighting blazes. At first I was doing good, but shortly after I became scared of the blazes again, but regardless, I was able to leave with 7 blaze rods just to be safe. I then set out to find a bastion, which turns out to be very hard if you don't know how to bastion x-ray. Eventually I had found 3 fortresses and still no bastion, so I just gave up. Wait, you thought I would give up? No, I actually just died and didn't want to go back and get my stuff. Now I had 4 seeds left, and the next seed spawns you on a single block in the middle of the ocean. Luckily there was a shipwreck nearby, so I got some iron and forgot how to breathe. I went back down one more time to try to get wood and almost drowned again. So I swam over to some land and found some trees not too far away. I then found a lava pool and messed up the speedrun portal again. I made it to the nether just before 5 minutes and things were looking good. For a few seconds. I managed to make it back to the nether a few minutes later, so I went to go grab my stuff. It seems I forgot that items burn in lava though, so I went back to the overworld. Things were already looking bad as I was back in the nether just after 10 minutes, leaving me just under 50 minutes to beat the game. I crafted my piglin morph, made an iron pickaxe, and then I attempted bastion x-ray. Unfortunately I found a fortress instead, and then I got assaulted by a giant pig. Now I was missing hearts, meaning I needed to find food fast. Thanks guys. I found some actual food, and then I decided to go fight blazes, which wasn't a good idea. I walked around for almost 5 minutes until I found enough mushrooms to restore my hunger. You're probably wondering what happened for the next 10 minutes, and honestly I'm not too sure. Eventually I started killing endermen and got the rest of the blaze rods I needed to go to the end. The problem was I only had 5 minutes left to get to the stronghold and kill the ender dragon, so I had to go fast. Unfortunately I had exceeded the time limit, meaning I had failed once again, but I decided to find the stronghold anyway. It didn't matter though, because I had 3 eyes break on the way there, so I couldn't even fill the portal. That means I had 2 seeds failed and 3 left to go. This time I spawned directly inside an ocean with no land in any direction. I found a shipwreck again, and I found a ton of iron and even a diamond. This time there was an air pocket, so I was able to make my tools without drowning. This run was looking good so far, so you're probably wondering how I will mess it up. I thought it was a good idea to try to get the gold blocks inside of an ocean monument. Now I not only had to go to the nether, but I had to find a cow to get rid of this mining fatigue first. It took me almost 5 minutes to find a cow, meaning I had already wasted over 1/10 of my time and I was nowhere near entering the nether. After collecting a few things, it was now 11 minutes and I decided to dig down to find lava. 3 minutes later, I was at a lava pool and I made an amazing portal again. I was finally in the nether over a quarter of the way into the run, and I tried to bastion x-ray again. I was led to another fortress though, so I fought blazes again. I got too confident though, and the blazes killed me, meaning I had to travel thousands of blocks back to my portal. So I quit the world and moved on to the next seed, but now things were getting bad because I only had 2 seeds left to beat and the next one was not looking good. This is Minecraft's impossible seed, and it gets that name for a reason. There are ways to survive this seed, but for some reason I thought I was a genius that could find his own way out. I was wrong, and upon looking in replays I realized that it is literally impossible without you subscribing. Subscribe right now and I will beat the seed. No, I actually meant impossible without glitches, which meant that I was on my final seed, so I had to beat this seed in under an hour or else I will have failed. Luckily, the final seed wasn't as hard. Supposedly I was surrounded in a desert that went on for thousands of blocks. This seemed to be the case, but I was fortunately able to find a village with a savanna right beside it where I could get wood. Thanks to the village, I was able to get food and beds, so I was looking really good. The only problem was I needed 3 more iron before I went to the nether. I was easily able to solve this problem though, because I saw another village on my way to the lava pool. So I killed the village bodyguard, and now I had 9 iron ingots. I made my tools and went back to the lava pool, where I successfully made a portal for the first time this video. Even though my nether entry was worse than the second seed, I still felt like I had plenty of time to complete this run, so hopefully that holds up. I turned my FOV to 30 and scanned for bastions, except this time I was actually able to find one instead of a fortress. The problem now is getting to the bastion because the nether isn't exactly known for its terrain. I bullied a ghast, and then I started slow bridging to an island because this time I had to be careful. I finally found a way down the bastion, and I made sure to stay as far away from the piglin brutes as possible. I have no idea how to route a bastion, especially hoglin stables, so it took me forever to figure out where the gold was. I had a close encounter with a piglin brute, and then I got really lucky with a few trades with this random piglin. Not too lucky though, so I went to find the rest of the gold. I mined the rest of the gold, and then traded in the most painful way possible with a single piglin. This was definitely not a smart move during a speedrun, and I ended up wasting a ton of time, but I was able to get more than enough pearls, so I left to find the fortress. Luckily, there's a fortress not too far away, meaning this run was still looking possible. I managed to find a double blaze spawner, so I was able to get my blaze rods relatively fast, leaving with 2 extra, which is better than 1. The problem now was that I didn't have enough obsidian to build a new portal, so I had to go back to 0-0 and try to find my old portal. I probably should have wrote down the coords, but I ended up finding the portal pretty easily, and I was back in the overworld by 35 minutes. This left me 25 minutes with 2 things left to do: make it to the end and kill the ender dragon. Simple. After traveling over 1,000 blocks, I was able to find the stronghold chunk, and all that was left to do was find the portal. Finding the portal turned out to be way harder than I expected, and I almost died to mobs twice. After my encounter, I was able to find the portal, and I walked into the end. Now I had just under 14 minutes to kill the ender dragon, and I brought beds, so this was going to be easy. I know you probably thought something was going to happen, but I ended up killing the dragon with the beds and beat the game with a time of 48 minutes and 21 seconds. Absolutely terrible time, honestly, but I did it, so that's it, I guess. I don't have an outro.